lesson will be available for future generations. My name is Dan O'Sullivan. I've been doing these ukulele lessons all day today, an hour. In real life, I also teach ukulele lessons. And I have an online program called the Uke Club at theukeClub.com. And you can check that out. It looks like we have some of our Uke Club members here. Hey, Todd and Jerry. Travis is back. That's excellent. Some folks I don't know. Corey is here. Thanks for joining us. Jeanette, Marianne. Hi, Marianne. Steve. And folks from around the world, I assume. I'm looking at the little stats window. I don't know if you can see it where you are. But on my end, I can see that there are 17 people registered and then 43 additional viewers, which just means they're watching, but they're not using the actual system that we have. So I like to give folks a minute or so to trickle in, but I also want to get started right on time and finish up quickly. I like to keep a lesson like this short as possible and to the point so you can learn the facts and then get out your ukulele and get to work. Hey, a couple of housekeeping things real quick. There are the two little yellow hands showing in the window where you see me. And if you click those, that shows me that you can hear me and respond to me. So go ahead and click those so I know that you can hear me and respond to me. Checking the messages there. If you have a question about the lesson or ukulele stuff in general, you can type your question into the chat area over on the side on the desktop. Travis, you mentioned you're on the iPhone. I'm not sure what the system is to type in questions on the phone, but I do know it's possible. Also, do me a favor right now before we start. There's a button that says Tell a Little Bird, and that will send out messages to everybody that the the lesson is about to begin. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll get underway. I'm on the iPhone, says S French, works much like the desktop. Perfect. So yeah, if you have questions, type them right in. And if anybody wants to jump in with me and be on camera and communicate, we can do questions that way, live, back and forth. It's a very nice way to do it. Hey, thanks for sending out those tweets. It's nice to share the word. So this is the last lesson for today. We'll probably do another day like this. It's been very fun, and it seems like a lot of people are getting some good information out of these lessons. But I kind of saved the best for last. That doesn't mean it's the most complex by any means. In fact, you'll see that it's a very simple concept. This is how to play 1,000 songs with just 3 chords. There are these magic 3 chords, and if you look over here, you'll start to get an idea for what they are. When I say that you can play thousands of songs, I mean it literally. These are songs that work in so many styles and genres. It works for blues music, rock and roll music, early rock, disco, country western, spirituals, worship songs. Just about every modern genre uses these same 3 chords. So let's take it one step at a time. Look over here at the chart, and you will see the first 3 chords in each column. I have to move around so I can see it. C, F, and G. If we just look at the first row, ignore the very first column. That's just telling us the name of the key. It happens to coincide with the first chord of the key. So those are the 3 magic chords. Those are the 3 chords you need, C, F, and G, that allow you to play all these billions of songs. I'm going to give you some examples of songs here in just a minute. And I'll also explain what the rest of the information provides for you. But C, F, and G. Sound nice together. Those are called the 1-4-5 chords. And if you ever hear someone call out, it's a 1-4-5 in the key of C, then you'll know that those are the chords that they're talking about. I'm playing a G7, a G major, and a G7 are interchangeable. So here's what happens when you start looking at working out songs and trying to understand how many chords they have. Check it on questions over here real quick. Who's keeping count? Good. All right. So a lot of songs just have one chord. I don't know if you've examined that or not. Usually when people start an instrument, it wouldn't occur to you that you can play songs with one chord. But in one of our lessons earlier, we looked at Frere Jacques. It's great because you can just jump in and play it. Doesn't matter what the C chord is. It doesn't matter what the one chord is. It can be C or G or F. But just for the sake of example, here's Frere Jacques, a couple of lines using a C chord. Frere Jacques, right? You could also play it with a G. Frere Jacques, Frere Jacques. Let's see. What are some more interesting one-chord songs? You may remember, brother had a coconut, he took it for a dime. Da 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 da. You put the lime in the coconut, drink it all up. Lime in the coconut, called the doctor, woke him up. One-chord songs, there's a big handful of them, and the trouble is they're not very interesting. You know, you can make a one-chord song interesting if you can provide lead lines, or if you've got a band providing interest and variety. But just playing one chord on a little ukulele, not very interesting. You run out of excitement very quickly. There are two-chord songs. Dear sir or madam, will you read my book? It took me years to write. Will you take a look? Stays on that first one for a long time. But I want to be a paperback. Paperback, I lost it. Writer, paperback writer. C and F. You saw me have to work it out there. Now, two-chord songs suddenly become much more interesting. C and G7 will let you do Goodbye, Joe, me gotta go, me oh my oh. G7, me gotta go, both be road down the bayou. That's jambalaya, crawfish pie, filet gumbo. So just two chords back and forth, C to G7. Now, the nice thing about a two-chord song is you've got enough interest and variety in there that you can play a whole song without fear of boring yourself or your listeners. And if you're just working it out, you know, on your own, if I said jambalaya is a two-chord song, C and G, you could play it because you know that it's always just the other chord. Goodbye, Joe, me gotta go, me-oh. Well, when it's time to change, there's only one thing to change to. Me-oh, my-oh, G7. Okay? But this magic happens where when we get to the third chord, when we add in the third chord of the 1-4-5 structure. So in the key of C, it's going to be C, F, and G, or G7. And as our friend Dr. Todd is pointing out, in this key, the G and G7 do work interchangeably. With me so far, give me some hands and just let me know that you're hearing me and what I'm saying makes sense. Yeah, good. That's excellent. Thank you. Good to know. Paul R. is here. Nice to have you, Paul. Thanks for jumping in. So the third chord, well, it's not always the third chord, but it's the third chord that we're talking about, C, F, and G7. So what are some examples of songs that have that? Well, I can just start going down the list. Let's see. I'm going to play, let me name some for you. I'll give you some examples in a minute. Honky Tonk Women, Blue Suede Shoes, Wild Thing, anything by Chuck Berry, all early Elvis, folk songs like You Are My Sunshine, country songs, Your Cheatin' Heart, Kansas City, Here I Come. Let's do that one. Here's C. I'm going to Kansas City, here I come, C. I'm going to Kansas City, F, Kansas City, here I come, back to C. crazy, G7, crazy little women there. F, I'm gonna give you one. C. Those are the magic 3 chords. Let me just prove my point. Let's do one that has a very different feel to it. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Now there I threw in a C7, so that would make it 4 chords, but really our C and our C7 count as the same chord. You make me happy when skies are gray. Okay? You'll never know, dear F, how much I love you. So all that time, it's just C and F together. And finally, at the end, please don't take my G7 away. Please don't take my G7 away. All right, so you're getting the point. And really, this is the point. We could call it off right now, and you've learned what you need to learn from this. We'll go into just a little bit more detail. Any questions at this point? Jump in if there's anything you need to know. I'm going to give Mary Beth a window. Looks like she's ready to jump in. Anybody else who wants to jump in on camera, this can be a discussion, not just me up here blathering away. Hey, Jeremy. Does this apply to other instruments? It absolutely does, Ascended One. Mary Beth, hi, welcome to our screen.
Hi.
I can see you, but I don't think I can hear you. So, got something to say? Give us a try. Well, just give us a wave then. All right, she's gone. The question was, does this apply to other instruments? It absolutely applies to any other instrument. It's a universal concept of music. So it doesn't matter what instrument you're on, clarinets or pianos or guitars or ukuleles. Let's look at the chart over here again for just a minute, because what makes this fun and interesting is that once you understand the 3 chord concept, then you can use the 3 chords from any key, the 3 chords from any row. Thanks for all the hands and all the love. It's nice to know that you're hearing all this. Hey, Jeremy and Jonathan, lots of folks shining on at the last minute. So we're using line 1, C, F, and G, but you can jump down and use any of those horizontal lines, and it's the first 3 chords that create the magic 3 chords that allow you to play all those thousands of songs. I personally really like the key of A. A lot of ukulele players don't, because look what the 3 chords are. It's A and D. Ukulele players don't like the D chord. I have a whole class, a course dedicated to playing the E chord and the D chord because they're so dang tricky. I'm not going to go into that now. I'll take questions later on it if you're interested. But look how fast, once you get your D and E playable, that's a real guitar player way to do it, with kind of like little mini bar chords. Hang on, Sloopy, Sloopy, hang on. Hang on, Sloopy, Sloopy, hang on. So that's A. If you did it in another key, let's try the key of G, which is much more ukulele friendly. So if we look across the chart, look at the giant fingers pointing to the tiny chart. G, C, and D. And again, same notion. It can be a D7 at the end in the 5 spot, which is usually easier to play. So G, C, and D7. What would be another song that we can use as an example? Wild thing. Make my heart sing. I keep going to rock and roll classics because they're so much fun to play, but also absolutely something like, what do we have? G, C, and D. For he's it, for he's it, for he's it, for he. Can't find that note. I'm on the internet and I can't find my singing note. That's just shameful. for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. That's it. He's a jolly good fellow, and nobody can deny. So, not my singing pitch, but, you know, what could be more different? For he's a jolly good fellow and wow thing. E, nobody plays in E, not even me on the ukulele. The key of E would be E, A, B. So you can hear as you go from key to key to key that the distance between the notes stays the same. The distance between the chords is the same. The intervals are the same. But you pitch the whole thing up or down, and you can play all these millions of billions of songs. I just want to think through my list real quick and see if there's anything that would be especially interesting to play for you. The main thing for you to bear in mind as you do this is you can look up on the internet, give me a list of 3-chord songs, and you can find thousands, millions of them because they're so common. The thing is, you've got to work out not which 3 chords, because you can use the easy to follow chart I provided you. And that's at theuclub.com/chords. You can download this chart. But you do have to work out which order they fall in. You saw me fumbling over for he's a jolly good fellow. I was not being a very jolly good fellow because I didn't know which order the chords are in. And I've never actually tried to play that song before. But you can work it out mathematically. Odds are that you're going to start on the 1 chord. So on the first line, you know, that's we're in the key of C. Odds are good that you're going to start on the chord of the key. So C, for example. And then it's just mathematical proximity. What's going to be the next one? Is it going to be the F or is it going to be the G? You know it's going to be one or the other. So try one. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, then you know it's the other one. So we'll shake it up, baby, now. Twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, come on, baby, now. I'm back to A. And then you've got to start working on your strumming so you can keep these songs that all have the same chords sounding a little bit different. I'm getting some really nice notes over in the message board, and I really appreciate the kind words. Thanks, everybody. So you suggested Cotton Eye Joe. That's a perfect 3-chord song. Hey, this is being recorded for later viewing, as Karen Young points out, and they're actually available on Blab, the terribly named site that we're using, and Blab sends it up to YouTube, so you can find these later if they're helpful to you. So really, that's the idea of the 3 chords, the 3 chords of rock, the 3 chords of folk, the 3 chords of the blues. It's perfect for blues songs. C, you know my baby left me, and I'm feeling so bad. And you just stay on C for a long time. And then it goes to the F. Well, you know my baby left me. Back to the C. And you know I'm feeling so bad. And it goes up to the G7. My baby done left me. Oh, and I'm feeling so bad. So those are the 3 chords of the blues. I know a guy in a cardigan can't technically have the blues, but come on, give me some slack. Jeremy asks, where can I find the download for this sheet of paper? This sheet of paper is available to download at theuclub.com/chords, theuclub.com/chords, which reminds me, if you want to check out the Uke Club, not chords, that's the club and website where you can sign up for my mini video lessons that come out to you every day, every morning. It's a wonderful way to start the day with a little bit of music on the mind, and you get a quick lesson so it doesn't take up your whole day, but just enough to keep you going, keep you practicing, and keep you getting better. A lot of people on the lesson right now, it looks like, are here from the Uke Club, and would love to have anyone who's interested join us over there as well. So I want to leave it right there. Those are the points I wanted to get across about 1,000 songs with 3 chords. You can see I did not do 1,000 songs, but I hope you see how you could do 1,000 songs. I'm going to hang out here for a couple of minutes. Happy to answer questions if you got any to type in. If anybody wants to jump in at the last minute online with me, just use the join button, and I've got an open seat for you. This has been lesson number 5 today. You're welcome, Golden Pop. I'm glad you enjoyed this content. It's been a really fun experience. I know a lot of you have done, I think, all 5. In fact, give me some hands if you've done 3 or more of these lessons today. Let me know. A bunch of you have. How about 4 or more? Yeah. Has anybody done all 5? I think some of you have done all 5 here. Look at that. Yeah. That's beautiful. You are beautiful people. You know, the ukulele draws a nice sort, doesn't it? So let's see. Let's make sure I've got the answers questioned, the questions answered. Some people had some tech problems, but I can't help with that, I'm sorry to say. Hey, check out in the messages, Jerry added a list of 3-chord songs over at chordy.com. A nice link. 145 forever, absolutely. You got the worksheet, Jeremy. Good. Todd says the Uke Club is great. Thank you for the kind words. I think the Uke Club is great too. It's been a blast putting it together, and we've got really nice people going through it. Cool content. Thank you. You're welcome. And take it off record and people will join. That's all right. So I'm going to call it quits right there and say thank you to everybody for jumping in, joining us for lessons today. And we'll do this again soon. It was really fun. I think it was a good way to get the ukulele word out, because, you know, that's what this whole thing is about. Just sharing the ukulele, sharing the love of our little instrument, and trying to hook together with other fun uke players. So thanks again. You can follow me here for future events. I'm thinking about putting together a ukulele talent show like once a week where people can come on and play whenever they want to. So thanks a lot. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.